What difference do you think that might make?
Well, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how the athletes develop the race early on and see if there's any impact as they get into those last bits of the race.
Yeah, so with a lot of stream, the advantage should be on the left-hand side, the Berkshire station that the Germans are on. So the semi-final of the Silver Goblets and Nickalls Challenge Cup gets underway. Great start from the Germans, who seem to have leapt out from the slow-starting Irish. They were slow off yesterday, but came back through. But I think the Irish were on the Berkshire station, the other side yesterday.
Yeah, and then we have a great shot of that Irish boat of Dorney Kearney.
No, that's the Germans actually killed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hagemeister and his partner Schmela.
Should have known from that green boat there.
Yeah. It's the famous Frankfurter Gesellschaft, and Hagemeister, the 27-year-old of that German boat. Well, the Irish have come right back into it now, Akil.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. You can get a slow start here, but as long as you're willing to push, you know, the race is not over. It's the beginning of the race, and there's a lot going on there. So it could have been they got off to a slight bobble, or they just didn't have the best start.
So John Kearney there in the stroke of the Irish boat, used to row as a lightweight, but was persuaded by the Irish chief men's coach, Fran Keane, to throw his hat in the heavyweight ring, and he's been rowing in the Irish heavyweight 4 with his partner Jack Dorney, trying to qualify for the Olympics. And you know, if I was in that German pair, I would have wanted to have a little bit more on the start, knowing I was kind of on the slightly favoured station. And I think if I was in the Irish pair, I'd be going, that's good, we're level, because when the course comes out from that Berkshire bank, then the advantage, any advantage they have, might disappear.
Yeah, and also having watched the Irish crew race throughout the regatta, they've had a very solid middle and finish to the race.
Yeah, the Irish very racy. That programme that Antonio Maragiovanni, the performance director, sets for the Irish team. Very strong programme. They all row at the lake down there in Cork. In fact, these guys are pretty much from Cork. Shandon Boat Club is on the River Lee, I think, in Cork, and that is the boat club that Jack Dorney belongs to. We're looking at the German pair, Hagemeister. Let's talk about them. So Hagemeister, he's got a dual Dutch and German citizenship. He actually rowed in a pair with Finn Flavine, who's the Dutch bowman of, well, it is actually, I think he's maybe in the 2 or 3 seat of the Dutch quad. Favourites to win gold in the Paris Olympics. Hagemeister rowed with him back in 2018. 2019, they rowed in the Dutch A for the under-23s in Sarasota. But then Hagemeister switched his allegiance to Germany, would you believe? And so he's rowed in the German 4 for quite a few years with his crewmate René Schmeldler. And both of them tried to make the German team, and they have a slight lead over the Irish at this stage of the race.
Yeah, I like the way they're rowing. You know, technically, the pair is one of the toughest boats to row. And so you really have to be in sync with your partner, the balance that's required and the skill to make that boat go fast.
Decent move by the Germans in the middle of this race. Let's take a look at the Irish there. John Kearney, the 23-year-old, and John was from Ballahassee, County Cork, just down the river, I think, from Cork Rowing Club, where he learned to row. And just behind him, well, Jack Dorney in the bow seat, he rowed at Harvard, I think, in the 1v8 as a freshman and a sophomore, if you'd like to explain what that means.
Yeah, so as a, you know, obviously freshman year is the first year at university. You can see he's wearing that Harvard hat there, giving a little nod to his alma mater. And so the 1v is the top boat with your fastest members. And here, you know, what I really like is how the Irish boat is hanging on, hanging in there. The Germans have tried to press a couple of times and extend their lead, but for now, the Irish have been able to hold on.
I fancy the Irish to take this. I think that's a decent move by the Germans, but I'm absolutely uncertain. I mean, they did all right against their German colleagues that they raced yesterday and won, but I kind of think the Irish are going to be more racy. you've kind of got the experience of John Kearney, who stroked the boat in Lucerne with Ross Corrigan, that finished 6th behind the British Olympic pair, Tom George and Ollie Wynne-Griffith, at the recent regatta. And okay, so Nathan Timoney's gone back into that boat, but it's pretty decent to have stroked the boat in an A final. And all that experience, I think they are moving a little bit now on the Germans.
Yeah, and especially, you know, they're rating a little bit slower. They're a little bit more fluid. If you look at the catch, and there's very little tension as they come up and connect their oars with the water. The Germans have a little bit of a harder stroke at the catch. And you can see that's something that will play into the final parts of this race when it comes to being tired, you know, being more efficient.
Yeah, and he looks so loose, doesn't he, John Kearney? Just easy. Look at his face. Look at it. You'd think he's out for a Sunday afternoon row. I mean, fair enough. Okay, Jack Dorney looks like he's suffering behind him. But John Kearney just looked like so loose and relaxed there. And you kind of think if he's going to take that on through the latter stages of this race, that will give them victory.
Yeah, and you know, that relaxation, so much of the sport is about, you know, what you do when the oars are not in the water. And if you can not check the boat down, if you can make sure that it's flowing nicely, above there you go, you have a warning there for the Germans to move back over to their side of the course.
Yeah, well, you never like to be too near the booms if you're steering the boat on this course. And I'm not sure if it's the German bowman Schmela or Hagemeister, the stroke steering the boat. Could be either. They still have a slight lead, so, you know, let's big up the Germans, because I didn't expect them to be in the lead coming into the enclosures. If there is any advantage in the stations, it will accrue to the Germans. The Berliner Ruder Club, top there of René Schmeldler. Haven't seen him recently on the international stage, but he was rowing with Anton Braun, that big German with the big ergo score. Couldn't quite make it into the team. So he's got that experience. Hagemeister we've spoken about with the under-23 experience, and it looks like I'm going to be proved wrong here, because the Irish need to do something special to win this race.
Yeah, it looks as though their strength, you spoke about the fact that the stroke Kearney was a lightweight. The strength of that German crew, those are some big guys, and if they can combine that power with technique, then they should be able to continue to move.
And look down the course, there's about 35-40 strokes, but the Germans, full credit to them, they look at the moment to be in pole position to face Nicky van Sprang and Guillaume Krommenhoek, the pair from the Netherlands, in tomorrow's final. And hands are moving nicely, fluidly around the back turn. The boat's up and running, that green colours of the sponsor Velo. They have got this race done and dusted.
Yeah, they really showed their mettle, you know, when that press came on by the Irish, and as they come through the grandstand area here, almost to the finish line, I think they've got this well in hand.
So the Irish pair just roll away from the camera. It's not to be for Dorney and Kearney from Shandon and University College Cork, but it is the Germans, Schmela and Hagemeister, from Frankfurter Rudergesellschaft and Berliner Ruder Club, that will go into tomorrow's final. And yeah, they look exhausted, don't they? That was a pretty tough effort for those guys. Confirmation on the screen.